Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So this is one of the sparkling gouramis that I just added to this tank a couple days ago. This is my 20-gallon long guppy and endler hybrid tank. It also has lots of neocaridina shrimp, a ton of Malaysian trumpet snails, too much Java moss, and some anacharis. There are also Rosy Loaches in here. They keep coming out and then disappearing within seconds. I want to get a look at right there's one of the males. You can kind of see it through the Java moss. The males are, well, rosy colored, so you can kind of see it, the reddish there. The females are bigger and not rosy, but try to get a look when we get a chance. But yeah, so the last time I showed this tank was when I added the sparkling gouramis. I don't think I mentioned that I had a platy in here. At some point in the past I probably mentioned it, but a while back I added some platies, 3 platies when they were juveniles. This is a male. It's the only one left. I lost the females. Alright, there's the gourami, but this is what's been happening since I added the gouramis. That male platy has been chasing them, and they've been most of the time hiding in the Java moss, which is not what I was hoping for. I do think it's might just be because the male doesn't have any females, and so I think the plan that I'm going to do is add a couple of females so that it'll just, that it can occupy its attention and it won't be bothered to chase the sparkling gouramis around. I'd rather that be the case than have to remove it entirely, because I want the gouramis to be comfortable in here. What that platy is, that is one good looking male platy. It's a redtail dalmation platy. Doesn't bother any of the other fish. Oh, there's a look at the gourami, one of the 2 gouramis. So you can see the certain angles of the light, the eyes sparkle, hence sparkling gourami. But yeah, the platy just chased it again. Alright, there's a couple male Rosy Loaches. You can see through the Java moss here. So I do plan to thin out some of this Java moss. I only even just put it in here just for the hell of it, just a place to put some, as I was emptying out one of my other tanks, my 40-gallon tank, and now it's grown too much more than I would have wanted it to be. I just want to add a little bit. And this was intended to be more of an anacharis tank. The primary plants in here, and these anacharis stems have some algae on it. You can see this is like new growth that's clean and clear of algae, and then these stems have algae on it, and I don't even know what kind of algae that is. It's kind of like sort of like blackbird algae and sort of like staghorn algae. I don't know if it's something entirely different or what. But one plan I have is to set up another tank. I have so many tanks as it is, but I kind of have in mind setting up a tank that would be low maintenance, where to this point, and I mentioned this in other videos, where I have been adding algae eating type fish to tanks to eat algae and clean them up. So what I think I'm going to do instead is set up another tank that will be the primary home for algae eating fish, like the Florida flagfish that I added in one of my 40-gallon tanks, where they have been aggressive and nipping at the other fish. So I think I'm just going to set up a tank just for them and some Siamese algae eaters, so that instead of moving those into tanks to eat algae, I'm going to move the plants with algae into their tank where they're going to stay. And I also have a mono shrimp that is supposed to be known algae eaters that are known as algae eaters. I have some in my original guppy endler hybrid tank, my 10-gallon, and I'll put some of those into the new tank that I set up. So I think it's going to be set up a 20 high tank, and that way my tanks like this one that has excess Java moss and algae covered anacris stems, I'm just going to throw that in there, clear it out, and then hopefully I'll get to see the Rosy Loaches more. They won't be hiding in the Java moss as much. And yet, as I mentioned, I'll add some female platies, so maybe I'll get to see the sparkling gouramis more. So let's check out some of these guppy endler hybrids that are cool looking. I can get this to focus better on some of these. And in the back there, you can kind of see it behind the sponge filter, and that's a Malaysian trumpet snail on the sponge filter, but that's a Batic narite snail. I added this to the tank, so there's this diatom algae in the front. I'm hoping that the narite snail will clean that up, give it a chance to do that. If that fails, then I'll scrape it down, but I just added it a couple days ago, so I'll give it some time to do that. Yeah, I did put some food in here. There's a chunk of rapashi and some of the pellet food and tetracolored tropical granules I put in here, but I've kind of eaten it. But I did that for the purpose of trying to lure the Rosy Loaches out so we could get a look at them. Didn't quite work out as planned, but yeah, we'll get a chance to see them in future videos when I clear out the Java moss. But yeah, just an update on this tank. And that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.